Hello, everyone. Welcome to We Fixed Real Estate. I'm Drew Hendricks. Today we have Fred Glick on the show.
Ready? Let's go, Drew.
Fred, welcome to the
Yeah.
show. Yeah, we're actually going to talk about some important things. So today, Renee is absent. He's not absent. He's out selling homes in the weather. And was biggest topic last week with when is the right time to sell your home? Should you wait for a sunny day? Should you wait for a better season or just sell your home? And Renee's out there selling today. Fred, I know you have an update on this because you're about to do a new listing right in the middle of our El Niño storms.
So paying attention to the weather, I have it here on my phone to the side of my computers. I can check it every once in a while, but no, I'm not that neurotic. Anyway, we're lucky in Los Angeles. We're going to get a break in the weather. It rained this morning. It hasn't really done anything in the afternoon. This is Thursday afternoon, February 1st. And tomorrow is supposed to be a little ugly, but Saturday is fine.
Mm-hmm.
And even into late Saturday night, but not into Sunday. Sunday looks So we're going to do it because here's the story. I'm going to do a 2-hour open house on Saturday at the normal times that everybody else in the neighborhood does. And that's the thing to always do. Do it at the same time everybody else is. So people are already there. Then not do it Sunday because of the weather, because it'd just be ugly. Then we're going to have all week. And the beautiful thing about all this is it's a little bit of an older house. And the home inspection came back and it said it had some issues on the roof and gutters and things like that. And we think we did a little fix up, and the roof cert is supposed to be done on Saturday. So we're going to see, for the buyers, this is fabulous because you're going to see the house performing in the rain.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, there's 9 months out of the year it doesn't rain here, so you don't know what's going to happen. The roof, I couldn't ask for anything better because obviously if there's a problem, we're going to fix it. And then they know it's freshly fixed and everything's great. So we're doing something in Los Angeles that agents just don't do. We perform all the inspections ahead of time, and we give to the buyers the inspections and the disclosures from the seller. Because for some reason down here, they've been listing homes, and once you go under contract, that's when you get all the disclosures, and then you do your own inspections. So that's just a thing of the past. The idea was you're emotionally connected to the house, so you're probably going to go ahead with it. But there's a second round of negotiation. It's crazy. And sellers down here don't understand this. And we love it. Do it in Northern California. And most of the houses up there are done this. So Silicon Valley leads the way in something. And this is a great way of doing it. Anyway, so it'll be fabulous. Hopefully we'll have a lot of people at the open. We have all the virtual staging done. That'll go up within the Matterport on the MLSs and Redfins and Zillows. And you'll see it. It's a house in Culver City. And we're only going to go, and here's another interesting thing. We give the owner a complete whatever they want to do for the buyer broker fee. There's no 2.5% or 3% forced down.
Yeah.
So he decided on 1.2%. The house is roughly, we hadn't set the price. It was like 1.3-ish, somewhere in that ballpark, 1.3, 1.4. So we're going to see if that affects the turnout.
Mm-hmm.
Because this house is close to the 405, but it's not like right on top of it. And there's giant walls. You really can't hear anything. But, an agent could say, oh, that's too close to the 405. You don't want to live there. Mm-hmm. Only because they're not going to make enough commission. But the flip side is, there's not a lot of houses on the market and there's a lot of buyers. So what do you do? So we're going to put a little note in the MLS to say, look, our buyer will want what they want, the best deal. And if then you want to add more commission on to the price of the house that you fully disclose to the buyer, we don't care. As long as we net the same. So we'll see what happens. So they can make 8%, if they want to charge the buyer that. But weather-wise, we found that little opening and we're going to do it. We're going to let it rain all next week. We're going to check the roof. Everything's going to be fine. Do 2 more open houses next weekend and tell the people, come on back, take a look. Mm-hmm. So we hope that works. Just makes sense.
It does make sense. Anecdotally, I can tell you, I bought my house during a right around this time, well, many years ago, but it was raining cats and dogs when I went out to go look at the house. And this house that I bought was a flip. It was a flip at the time. And when I saw the house, sure enough, the front room was leaking as we were touring the house. And that made it was easy. It all got fixed. I got to see it as just as you said,
Yeah.
battle
That's
tested.
a perfect example of what I was just talking about. It's great.
Yeah. What I didn't notice was that the electrical system didn't work, and the house inspectors didn't see that either. So right when I moved in, I had to call an electrician to get the electrical system figured out.
House
That's another
inspector is
story.
liable. Yeah, they're licensed. And they don't want to miss things. Trust me.
Mhm.
They will get sued. There's no doubt about it, especially here in California.
Now, going back to setting or allowing your sellers to set their own broker fee.
Mhm.
Talk to me about the like the different ramifications of setting no broker fee versus a 1% versus a 2.5.
Okay. So before all these lawsuits and Justice Department investigations happen, the way that it used to work in the good old Boys and Girls Network was with a wink. Everybody established usually 2.5% or sometimes 3% of the sale price as what they should be getting on each side of a transaction. So with the idea, and I've heard this from agents, I heard them say, well, everybody charges the same thing, so it's all standard. Unfortunately, that's caused them a problem with the United States Justice Department and all these attorneys, and that's why they're in this. By the way, Keller Williams settled the first suit, the big one, the 1.8. Their share was like 77 million. I think it was something in the 70s. They settled today. They know they got more paychecks to write later down the road, but maybe, hopefully they have a plan to keep them solvent. That's
a far away. I mean, that's a huge, that's a small portion of the 1.8 billion.
Yeah, because they sued so many different people, including NAR.
Oh, I see.
So,
I see. Oh, it was a different law. It was the same lawsuit.
No, same lawsuit with lots of defendants.
Lots of different defendants. So
Lots
NAR got 1.8 billion. Keller Williams.
Right. And there's another company, I think it was Anywhere, that settled like before the suit was even the trial. So, or can't remember exactly. Google it, kids. Anyway, moving on. I don't have time for them anymore, and what they're doing. They just did it. But anyway, that's the way it happened. So nowadays, so if you list the property back in those days and you put less commission, there were agents who would literally say, and you know what, the guys from Shamath Palihapitiya's gang of guys are on TikTok and whatever, even they said this. They were told by brokers, hey, if you're not paying me 2.5%, I'm not showing the property. You know, because they were, as they say in Yiddish, gonifs.
Huh.
You know, that comes out. Yeah, they're just, I want every dollar and I deserve it. And these are $1 million properties. You know, they're in Northern California.
Yeah.
So that was the mentality. What I'm trying to see with this will be the first one we've done under this new thing and new place and time. And it'll be fun to see what the result is. I don't think it's going to be a big deal because I think people are used to it now, or people are scared of it. They're not going to sway people. And buyers in this price range have a brain. They'll still go to the house because everybody's addicted to seeing real estate, and then they'll realize, hey, it's not a problem. And the agent was lying, and then they'll find another agent.
Sure.
You know? So never. Oh, let me tell you this. I forgot to tell you this, but I want to get this out because I want to get this SEO'd. In the state of Texas, if you want to use a broker who is a realtor, which is the absolute majority there because they don't let anybody in the MLS if you're not a realtor, you must sign an exclusive contract as a buyer with them. There is no such thing as a non-exclusive buyer-broker contract. Let me announce we're changing that. Our new broker submitted all the paperwork today, and we should be licensed by the time you hear this in the state of Texas to do real estate at a flat fee that is non-exclusive contract. You do not have to be exclusive. So You can go see houses with us. You can then go see houses with other agents. I don't care.
But then the other agents will want to get an exclusive contract.
Yeah.
You have the freedom to go where.
Right. Yeah, you have the freedom to go anywhere, but then you'll say, I'm not signing that. And they can't work without a contract. So they've all kind of screwed themselves. I'm sure there's other people out there doing non-exclusives or not agents, hopefully.
I really never understood the exclusivity of an agent. And then you feel guilty if you break the contract.
Yeah, they love that. They get taught how to like persuade you. And there's all these guys, Tom Ferry and some other characters. They train these agents.
I mean, just imagine if it was like a clothing store. You had to walk into Nordstrom's, you had to sign an exclusivity contract. I will only buy my suits at Nordstrom's, and that's how I'm getting let in. No, you can't go to Neiman. You can't go down.
No, can't go to Saks. No, sorry, you can't go to Luigi down in Italian Village. Nope.
In order to look at our suits, you have to sign a contract. Yeah, that does
exactly. It's just so stupid. And that means, what if you met up with a first week agent who didn't know anything? Or you could meet up with someone who's done it for 50 years, same contract, same amount of dollars.
How does someone break? I mean, so say you meet up with an agent, you think they're great, then they go out on a few houses with them and they realize this guy sucks. How does someone break that exclusive contract? Do you have to sign a termination letter?
Yes. Get a lawyer. I'm sure. Google it. I'm sure there's a way out, because, there's no value from that person. And I haven't read the contract, but I'm sure there's things that they're supposed to do. And if they don't do them, the contract can be voided.
And if you break the contract, I believe they then have to get a referral fee for the next agent.
Oh, I have no idea, whatever it is.
Something like that. But
I don't deal with it. You know what? You either like us and we're good and we work together, or we don't. That's why if you look at our things that people have written about us on Google, it's the people we like to work with who like to work with us. It works best. We don't force anybody, because it's bad for us.
Yeah. Just another
time wasters.
Way that you fixed real estate, or you're continuing to fix real estate. And it's a problem.
Every day. Well, even on Saturday. Get W's though.
So as you're fixing real estate, Google seems to be fixing ads. And
why don't you talk about that?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys you guys all need to follow Justin Feinberg. The guy is an AI guru and comes out with a lot of TikTok videos. We're going to have a link at the bottom. Yeah. But he just came out with another, one of his recent videos was talking about Luminaire, which is a Google personalized video. And to summarize it, we're going to tie this into real estate in a second, but basically this video shows for the first time the minute you watch it. And on the fly, the video is created through artificial intelligence based on the ad platform's knowledge of you. So it's really a one-to-one, one-off video that was created just for you.
Okay, so what's going to happen is you're going to type in houses, Palo Alto, $2 to $3 million.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to pop up is this picture of these people going through these houses. You too could experience this and get a rebate at Arrivva. I don't know. I'm making this up. I mean, but if we bought that time, we bought that slot, I don't even know how they're going to sell it, then that video ad is going to be created for you to click on. But just from the fact that you search certain things.
And they'll be
obviously it goes back into your search.
Back into your search and and I would imagine your demographic profile. So right now we show ads we have like audiences, and we'll show ads that we think are relevant to the person's demographic profile. Whereas a video, and we may create 20 different videos. So like in Colorado, we'll show a video of a warm sunny day in December because that's going to resonate with someone who's dreaming of a sunny location, or vice versa. There's that kind of level of like human personalization.
Yeah.
This is what I'm thinking it's getting to, is that you're going to type in, $1 million home in Palo Alto. And if Google knows that you've been searching for schools, searching for stuff that involves children, they're going to deduce that you have children. So you might see an ad with children running through the front yard versus if you're searching for cruises, you're searching for that, and they know in your demographic profile that you don't have kids. You might see an ad that looks more like the bachelor lifestyle, or an ad that's more like an empty nester type ad for the same exact home done on the fly.
Right. And remember, in your search, you could have hockey. You're looking for some ointment. You could have, it ties it all together, and that's what's going to make it incredible. It's like they're going to have some algorithm pulling what's important and what's not. There's sometimes, hey, somebody's asking you about something and you're searching for like pink dresses, that you never search for. And that's going to be part of it. It's going to be insane for a while. It's going to take a long time to fix and get it right. But
it's good. And there's a ramification to the businesses though, because when we create a video, like say we created a video for Arrivva, you've approved it. You've watched all 2 minutes of it or 1 minute of it. And you're like, okay, this fits our brand standard. We're not making any assumptions. And you go back to kind of the older, older technology with email, mail merges and stuff. If you mess up the personalization in an email and like somehow the intel shows that they like blue, but you show them a whole pink one just because the signals got crossed, your brand that's where I feared why I'd step into this very gradually. I fear that the chances of the video boosting sales is outweighed by the chances of the video not quite matching the person.
Right. Well, two things I just thought of. So when we advertise, we have to advertise our license numbers. So how does the video know to advertise our license numbers? It doesn't. There is this one thing about what they call one click. If you're one click away from the license number, it's okay. So it's got to go to a certain URL and blah, blah, blah. What was the other thing I thought of? Remember, but
I think the license numbers and stuff, you'll have to put in like this, the video should have all this content, then colorize it or, enhance it a little bit with the person.
I wonder if Google is going to make available to probably you guys professionals a way that you put in the things you want in the ad, even though it's based on somebody else's history, that you'll be able to kind of preview what could happen.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure they're going to show like the scenarios, and they've got to have it on Rails, right? On some pretty good guardrails right now.
Yeah, they have to
rolled out. But a year from now, and here's something that a lot of you don't know. A lot of people don't know is that when you're searching, when you're doing all your Google searches, and you're in incognito mode, Google's still tracking.
Yeah,
Google's still tracking you. Your spouse may not be able to track you. Your search history may not be there, but the Google knows.
That's why DuckDuckGo exists.
So they're the
DuckDuckGo, download that, and they just kill everything, and they don't care. They don't retain anything. Google and Apple, they know where you're going because they want the data, so they don't care. They throw it out, and it's not pinned. It's not attached to you that they know it and come back with a subpoena. It's just white. It's just, but still know where you're going. So do they add that part to the search stuff that you're looking for? And if you're in incognito, is it going to be able to go to your non-incognito history? I mean, there's so much to this, God, and not for our show because we're not a tech show.
No,
but I'm sure the nerds will have a blast with this one.
But for real estate, I mean, in real estate, isn't finance it's not as protected as health. Like, what we can do in health is personalization is very, very limited. Versus
because of HIPAA.
Versus selling a mug or selling something up. But in finances with mortgages and all that, there's a lot of hurdles we still have to jump through. The ads, what can be said, what can't be said. So you start to get a little afraid of what they might be injecting in there. I could definitely see it with financial advisors and stuff with FINRA, where everything has to be approved. They can't have a link from their site. They wouldn't want any sort of personalization.
Oh, and it's like the Bitcoin lunatics too. Oh my God, it's going to be nuts.
Oh yeah. And just a complaint on my side, or not a complaint, but the ads I see are ridiculous because I have to spend so much time researching so many diverse niches that if you saw the ads on my YouTube at night when I'm watching it, they're like, why am I seeing this, all these like weird medications? Yeah.
DuckDuckGo.com. Okay. It's all I could say.
Yeah.
Download the browser. Yeah.
Let's do it. Last week we also talked about the short term, the VRBOs in Palm Springs outlawing short-term rentals and its effect on housing prices. On the upside, you could probably get a cheaper house because the housing prices are falling. But on the downside, it's kind of inhibiting free market.
Yeah. Well, here's the thought that I had. Last week, I was talking about the private school.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the best thing. But I was just, as I said before, I get the Redfin links from like all over the states and like hundreds a day. And it just kind of gives me an idea as opposed to details. But I've looked at this one. 3-bedroom, 1-bath in Joshua Tree, which is a half an hour north of Palm Springs. But it's kind of desolate, hot in the summer, cool place. 896 square feet, and they're asking $375,000. Okay, so if you have to get an Airbnb license, you get it. You fix the place up a little bit, or have it as a weekend place. Share it with 4 of your friends. Just for the rental. I don't know what the minimum rental is, but you might just be able to rent it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just going to eventually go back and appreciate because they're going to fix this Airbnb thing because the values have decreased. And that means their tax base has decreased. Everybody who's had their values go down, who bought at a high number, should be appealing their real estate taxes based on the value of the property. So they're going to feel it. All the towns there are going to feel it. And this is going to turn around. And, they have a train that goes there from Union Station.
Oh yeah. It's very proximity. I mean, it's close proximity to Los Angeles.
Yeah. They have an airport. Yeah, it's a little hot. If you don't want to go, but you can buy a place in California for $375,000.
That's a
Joshua. Yeah. It's like, it's very cool.
Highly desirable place. Some funny thing is I've now been getting all these like personalized recommendations on YouTube, and I watched one last night about the decline and fall of ski towns in the United States. On one hand, there's this corporate entities and the people, the upper management isn't living in the ski town anymore. But on the other hand, one of these towns in Colorado, only 20% of the people there are full-time residents. So so it's packed in the winter and a ghost town in the summer or in the shoulder season. And your neighbors now are maybe a block or two away because everybody in between is a VRBO. So I can see the downside there. And then I went down that rabbit hole a bit more, and I saw another ad, not an ad, but a news article about how they're going to 4 times the property taxes for short-term rentals.
Yeah. Yeah. And I saw in Chicago, they're trying to raise the city transfer tax. And what they're doing is the higher the sale price, the more it is, which frankly it should be. And then on the lower end, it's 0 for people, which makes sense. But, the realtors are going to put up $1 million to fight it because they're protecting rights of the homeowners. It's the commercial guys that are getting hit. They should have it just for residential, exclude the commercial because they need the growth in commercial. But Philadelphia's had over 4% tax between the state and the city. It's for years.
That's amazing. For short-term rentals or forever?
No. Everybody's property tax. I'm sorry, the transfer tax.
Okay.
Everybody's transfer tax. But also, they've had this thing on since sometime in the 80s or 90s where if you're going to improve a building or build new construction, for 10 years, they can only tax you on the land or when the property was crappy. So you don't pay the difference. So that's nice on the commercial side. So developers can come in and, be able to sell these things to people who have a little less income. So it adds more sales, saves people money, makes sense, yada, yada.
It seems like the market could figure itself out though, without having to introduce like property taxes. The house is a house. So keep the property taxes the way they are.
Here's
And then
the
just
answer.
have a
Here's the answer. Wait, time out.
That's it.
Here's the answer to property taxes across the entire country. I said this last week as part of the podcast. Remember, you're looking at the same house. It's basically costs the same. What you're buying is real property, real estate. The real estate just happens to be on top of the real property. By the way, real property is what you're really buying because you're buying everything air rights down to ground rights. That's property. Real estate is just the physical building that's on there. So we're really in the real property brokerage and mortgage business, but we can't say that because nobody knows what that is real estate.
Mhm.
So anyway, back to that idea. So if the only difference in a house in California, a house in Kansas is basically the construction costs, and yes, it's a little more in California, everything should be based, real estate taxes should be based on the land value, period, done, end of sentence. That would solve so much. And nobody's got to appeal it because I put on fancier, whatever, mine's worth more and the other guy is worth less and he feels his tax. Who needs it? It's just lands. Here's the land. Boom. Thank you very much.
Yep. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it makes too much damn sense. I know. Because how do you break it out on a new sale? What's the percentage you go by and appreciation? It gets a little complicated, but it could be figured out.
Mm-hmm.
That's my answer. Condominium, same way, because it's, land keeps going up in value. So you whack out the percentage interest. Co-op is one big bill. Commercial building, one big bill. Condos be a little funky, but other than that. So anyway, that's my answer.
Yeah, I like it. Tax the property for the property. You want to rent a short-term rental? Have a business tax. It's a business.
There you go.
It should be handled on the business side.
Here's another thing about the real estate taxes based on just the land. Go ahead and build whatever you want on there. Spend as much money as you want. People way back in Philadelphia years ago would never fix up the outside of their house. They'd fix up the inside because the assessor couldn't see it. So they were worried if we put new windows, they're going to raise our real estate taxes. So here, if it's just on land, build whatever you want.
Yeah.
And not worry about it and spend more money, help the economy. So,
well, incognito mode for the houses.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. Tie it all together. There's the story. There's the headline, incognito mode, real estate style.
That's good. Any parting words?
I'll just throw in a little bit of a commercial. We're about to get connected with a company that's going to give us some really awesome abilities for people to act as cash buyers, even up to 95% loan to value. So this is a completely different program than we've had before, and it's fabulous. Fabulous. But more next week. Well,
I know we've helped promote that. I can't wait to hear more about that.
Yes.
Well, this has been another episode of We Fixed Real Estate. Have a great week, everyone.
Stay dry.